Home Assistant added the Repair Center feature quite a while ago, and since then I've had a few things pop up in the Repair Center notifications telling me I need to fix them, and I take care of them pretty quick. There's one that's been sitting here for a long time, over 3 months now, that needs to be fixed, and it deals with the YAML code that needs to be moved to a different position or a different place in the Home Assistant configuration. So today it's a super simple, quick and easy fix, and I'm going to show you how I do that in this video. Let's get started. All right, before we get started, let's talk about what the Repair Center is. This was added into Home Assistant in 2022.8, more than a year ago now. And it informs you about issues it has found in your Home Assistant instance that should be fixed to make sure everything stays running, happy, and all that stuff. It's enabled by default. You don't have to do anything to turn it on. And if Home Assistant finds an issue in your instance that requires your intervention, it creates a new issue in the repairs dashboard. I'll show you that in just 1 second. Just like the updates, the number of issues pending in the repairs dashboard is shown in the sidebar on the settings menu item. So you can see that here. So if we go over into my Home Assistant instance and I open the sidebar and scroll down, you'll see that I have 2 items here that need to be fixed. Clicking on that, we have the command line YAML has moved issue. That was 3 months ago. Yes, I've been putting that off, as I mentioned. And then 3 weeks ago, the Nito bot vac configuration is removed. And you can click on either one of these to see more detail about it. So the reason why this is now an issue for me is this stops working in a couple of months. So I need to make sure I change this or fix it or remove it, depending on how I want to do that, before this becomes deprecated or stops working. And of course, you can always choose to ignore these things, but if it's going to break in a few months, ignoring it will just cause other problems later on. So I would fix it. And then this is the Nito bot vac 1. It basically says configuring the Nito bot vac using YAML is removed. It has already been imported into the UI, so I can remove the Nito configuration from my Home Assistant configuration file and then restart Home Assistant, and that error will go away as well. So today we're going to tackle both of these and get rid of them. It's a pretty simple thing to do. Most of you who don't use YAML won't even need to worry about this kind of thing. Those of us that have spent a long time in the Home Assistant environment and have created a lot of things in YAML based on legacy configurations, this will come up more and more as Home Assistant works to streamline and put most of everything into the UI and make everything fit where it's supposed to fit rather than being spread across the configuration files. So in my sensors file, I have one command line sensor, and this is specifically what it's talking about. If we go back over here and we look at the error here, the command line YAML configuration is moved. And so that's what we're dealing with today is command line. All these other sensors that I have within my Home Assistant sensors file, they can stay there. This is the one I've got to deal with. I'm going to do this a way that I do the most of the rest of my splitting out of files. In my configuration YAML file, most of my files that have any kind of stuff in them are separated out into their own files. This is just, for me, an organizational way to do things. I don't want my entire configuration.yaml file to be filled with these individual sensors for all these different types of sensors and things that I run in Home Assistant. So it's simple to do that. I'm just going to create a new line here. This is going to be command line. And I'm going to include, using this include syntax, the command line .yaml file. Now that file doesn't automatically exist in Home Assistant. You actually have to create the file. Also, I'm using a tool called Visual Studio Code, and I connect to my Home Assistant instance from my Windows PC using Samba or the Samba share. That allows me to map my configuration files onto my local PC, which then allows me to use Visual Studio Code in Home Assistant directly from my PC. Now, it is possible for you to use the Visual Studio Code plugin on your Home Assistant instance. I have found that to be CPU intensive, resource intensive, and so I decided to pull it off onto my PC and just run it that way. So your choice on how you do that. You can also use the command line or the terminal add-ons, all of those are available in Home Assistant as well. But this is the way I do it. All right, so I've created a configuration for this that puts all my command line information into my command line file. And I'm going to have to create that file. So first of all, I'm going to do a Control S and save this. And now I'm going to create a new file. And up here, you can see here, new file. And it's in this hierarchy of Home Assistant configuration. So I'm just going to create that file. And as I mentioned over here, I'm going to call it commandline.yaml. Commandline.yaml. And hit enter. And now I have a commandline.yaml file. And I've got a bunch of tabs up here at the top. So let me drag this down. You can see all my tabs up here. So it's just created a new tab with that file. And I'm going to go back to my sensors file. And I'm going to take this information right here. I'm just going to copy it. Oops, not that. I'm going to copy this command line information. And I'll delete it in a second, but I want to copy it before and paste it before I actually delete it. And I'm going to paste it directly into the command line file. Now let me take a moment and talk about some syntax that I'm showing in this particular file. If I were to go in my configuration.yaml file up here, and I were to paste this in just like this, it would not work. But because I've used this include line, the first line, and this is how you can think of it, the first line in the file is automatically added to the file. Is added to Home Assistant's configuration as command line, because you're saying this particular function in Home Assistant, everything in this file falls under that. So basically, if I went over to my sensors file, I would put in command line like this, and I would get rid of this platform, and then I would actually add sensor. So 2 spaces in, sensor, and then all this stuff would come in two spaces after that. So this would be kind of the syntax. So you can think of the first or the line in the configuration.yaml file, this right here, command line, as being this line. And then everything within that command line file will then be a sensor in there. So you would have all of these things like this in there, and you would just remove command line and place sensor in that file. Hope that makes sense. Probably sounds a little confusing, but you're basically creating the first layer of the hierarchy in a file by putting this in here. And then everything below it is how you would have that if you were to put it directly in your configuration.yaml file. So with that being said, I would get rid of platform here, and I would put in sensor. And I don't even need to space here because it's already spaced for me. Sensor. And then here, everything would be spaced out. 2 spaces. So think of it again as this is command line, and it's above here hidden because it's pulled from that include directory or from the include. And then everything in here below that is where that belongs. So now I've pasted that all in here. Let me get rid of it out of here. And I always like to comment things out actually before I do that. Oops. So that if I have to come back and reference this, it's still in here and hasn't been deleted. Once it's working, then I can come in here and I can delete everything else. So now we've got, let's go over what we did. We created an include file for this command line. We created the command line file over here under the Home Assistant hierarchy, configuration hierarchy. Then we took the values from the sensors file for that specific platform, and we put it in the command line, modifying it slightly so it's now a sensor under that file. So now what we can do is we can go back over to Home Assistant. And this is where the money part is. If we've done everything properly, then it should restart without errors. Do we have errors? Maybe. We'll see here in just a minute if it works properly. Now, if you're in this directory right here, your settings directory or settings screen, you can come over here to the 3 dots and you can click on Restart Home Assistant and you can do a quick reload. I'm going to try a quick reload and I'm going to cross my fingers I don't have any errors. So let me do that now. And you saw it real quick, a reload configuration pop up and go away. that means that there weren't any errors in my configuration, which is good. So we will see then if this gets rid of the error we have right here. Let me just try to refresh and see if it goes away. Now refreshing this didn't make it go away. So in some cases, especially if you're adding a brand new configuration file, Home Assistant may not pick up that file unless you do a full restart. So a quick reload will not work in all cases. So if you do some stuff and you don't get the repair error to go away, restart Home Assistant fully. Instead of doing a quick reload, do a full restart and then see if that takes care of the problem. So I'm going to do a full restart and then we'll come back on the other side and see if this error actually, or this repair notification actually went away. Okay, so we've restarted Home Assistant and this is still here. I'm going to leave this part of the video in rather than edit it out because I'm going to show you a fundamental mistake I made, which happens from time to time. And I want to also show you that I'm not immune to making mistakes. It happens to all of us. So if you look up here on this screen here, you'll see a couple things. First of all, my tabs that I have open, but I have dots. What the dot means is I did not actually save the files that I just modified, with the exception of configuration.yaml. So because I didn't save them, none of this information got added or removed. So I'm going to do a Control S on my Visual Studio Code, and it changes that dot to an X. Let me just make sure. Yep, that's right. And then over here on sensors.yaml, to the system, this has not been modified yet or saved, so it still thinks that that is in the file. So I'm going to click a save on that one as well. Now you can see that all of these things are saved, and we're going to go back through what I just did a minute ago, do a quick reload, see if that gets rid of the error, and if it doesn't, then we'll have to do a full restart. So again, I'm not immune to making mistakes. It happens to all of us when we're doing things like this. So I just wanted to show you that I had one of those moments. So I'm going to restart, do a quick reload, and we'll see what happens with this error. It may require a full restart once again. Just depends on what we see here in just a moment. And if it does require a full restart, that's great. I didn't get any errors when I saved again. So it means that the configuration files that I added and the syntax in the YAML is correct. So that's the good part. Let me refresh here. And that's still here. So I don't know how often this actually checks for this, if it's a full restart where it checks or not. So I'm going to do another full restart and we will see what happens. So restart Home Assistant. And here we go. And we'll let that do its thing, and we'll come back in just a minute when it's fully restarted and see if this error has gone away. And then we'll tackle the botvac error right after that. Okay, it's starting up now. We'll give it a minute and see. We should at least see the botvac error come back up. Hopefully the other one doesn't come back up as well. So we'll just see what happens. Okay, there is our botvac issue. And I don't see the other one, so we may have solved that problem by saving the files this time instead of doing what I did before, which was not save them and restart, which basically means no configuration changes were made. Okay, good. So that's taken care of the command thing that's been sitting there for the last 3 months that I've just been ignoring. And now let's go tackle the botvac configuration. So that's probably also in my configuration.yaml file. All right, so you can see that I have a configuration entry for my Neato botvac, my little smart robot vacuum cleaner. And it's already been pulled into Home Assistant through the UI. So we'll just look at that one more time here, right there. Clicking on this tells us that your existing YAML configuration has been imported into the UI automatically. I just need to remove the configuration from my file and restart Home Assistant to fix the issue. So let's go over here and remove that. And I'll just do that. And that gets rid of that. Again, it's got a dot, which means I didn't save it. So I'll click that and now I've saved it. And now I need to restart Home Assistant to fix that problem. And again, it probably requires a full restart. So I'm going to do a quick reload just to check. But most likely the entire thing needs to be removed. So that didn't work. So let's go ahead and do a full restart one more time. And we'll say yep to that. And then we'll come back in just another minute when the full restart has been completed. And we should see no errors here. And we're restarting. Once again, we'll let the full restart happen and make sure there's nothing up here. All right, we're fully started and no errors up top here, which means that those things that have been bothering me for the last few months, I have corrected, and now that is solved. So this was just a quick video to show you how to handle the errors that come in, at least those kinds of errors from the Repair Center, and also show you that the Repair Center is a useful addition. Again, it's been out for about a year now in Home Assistant, and I've solved quite a few things with it. Home Assistant continues to evolve, and I've read some comments on the internet about Home Assistant keeps changing things. In order for a system to continue to evolve, it does require some changes. And the Repair Center helps you understand those changes and what you need to do to correct them. And then people like me come along and say, okay, let me show you how to do this real quick, so it doesn't seem as daunting as it might seem if you're reading that error and like have no idea what to do. I hope this was helpful, and I hope it helps you to feel comfortable going in and fixing things whenever you see them pop up in the Repair Center. And that's about it. I thank you for those that are subscribers, those that are not. Push the button down there. Thanks for watching the video today, and we will see you on the next one.